We have another week started. It's going to be hot again. Hate that. It's August, but bumping 100 or going over a little bit that's not necessary. Not at all. Not at all. So get y'all see who all's on yet. Not. All right, we're rolling. Morning, Scott Keller. Good morning, Robin. Morning, Wendy. We are going to get rolling here pretty quick. Excuse me. Morning, Boyd. Morning, Valerie. Got several commenting. Morning, Mom. Started a little bit late. I didn't realize the time. Working on another week, trying to be super efficient with time. I've got some things we want to get going with the church. Working on getting some small groups and a few things done. We got good things rolling, but there'd be some people that would be real beneficial for. Morning, Ryan Owens. I know not everybody's needing anything else, but our small group on Wednesday night has been good. Good growth and but it's Bible study specific. And morning, Mara. So, all right, let's go into we're gonna go to Philippians. Probably gonna go over into Proverbs because I was thinking this morning, just as I was just got up, or as I woke up and was praying, about thinking about discernment and wisdom, and sorting through, knowing what God is directing us in and not. I've been teaching on miracles, believing God for awesome things, just stretching our faith. But along with that comes the ability to discern or know what is God's will, discern between or be able to determine, what's of God and what's not. There's a lot of good ideas out there. There's a lot of things that, you may want, but keeping things as, God's will, his leadership first. And as you grow and mature more in the things of God, that ought to become your goal, is that God, I want to be successful in these areas of the world, as far as, taking care of my family, taking care of my home, car, business, job, whatever it be that you're working on. I want to be, I want to enjoy my time, if depending on what the season of life you're in. As you get older and you get kids grown or whatever, there may be times where your focus is on management of time, and that's always something to some degree. You as a young person trying to navigate time, it's amazing to me, isn't it amazing how fast things move and how fast time goes? And the older you get, the faster it seems to go. And so wisdom, where all those things are concerned, setting up our priorities, things will become a priority to us, and sometimes we get things out of balance, and so we gotta constantly be resetting those things. It's kind of like you might look at it, the wisdom of God coming into our lives, a lot like steering an airplane, or I like to use the analogy of farming a piece of ground, um, or cutting out, laying out a hayfield. You may set that up off of a straight line, but as you go across the field or around the field, there's going to be times where things get a little bit out of line, and if you don't correct them and straighten them out pretty soon, it'll be really crooked. I've got a high school boy working for me, and last year, 15, the first time he'd ever run any equipment, and I put him on my swather, and I set him out, and I told him how to, I lined this out and told him how to go, and I drove off, and I watched him for a little while, and then I left and went and checked some cows, and come back an hour later, and there's this big old bow in this. I'm like, what are you doing? And I had to laugh because it was really crooked. And I was tuned on by my dad, who wanted things really straight. And most every farmer I ever worked for, especially if the neighbors could see it from the road, it was like, at least a hayfield isn't going to stay that way. You work the ground and sometimes or plant wheat, man, and it's crooked. Holy cow, you got to look at that for, all winter. That would be bad. And so you got to correct as you go. Well, think about that in our life. These little things in our life, if you correct them early and adjust early, it's not that big of a deal. But if you let them get way out of whack, then it takes a lot to make it straight. And man, I just re-straighten it. And then I sit in there with him. I said, look, you feel that? Okay, take a little bit more out. Do something here. You got to look down the field. There's all these different things you do to keep straight, which is very easy for somebody who's done it a lot, but it was difficult for him to do. And so in our lives, that's a fun analogy or funny analogy. If you fly airplanes or I've heard pilots talk about this, they have to have that endpoint, that plan and that endpoint set, and keep that, because just being off a little bit, when you go, 300 miles, if you're off just a little bit, in the end, it gets you way off. And so that's what wisdom does for us. Let's look at Philippians chapter 1. Verse 9 is a good one. It says, I pray that your love will overflow more and more, and that you will keep on growing in knowledge and understanding. I didn't pull out another translation here, but discernment is, I think New King James uses the word discernment here in this word for the word knowledge. And it just means the ability to understand what's below the surface, to see a little more. We want to grow in knowledge and understanding, but what are we trying to grow in knowledge and understanding of? How to understand God, how to follow God, how to hear God's voice, how to read the Word and see what applies to me, how to maybe understanding and discernment over shutting off certain voices in our lives, things that might try to limit our understanding of the Word, or try to get us off of the main things that God would have us to understand. Obviously we want to understand the whole of Scripture, but sometimes, there's things that people make an emphasis that would be, would be less than where God would want you to be. And so allowing God to lead, guide, and direct. Now, where discernment and wisdom and discernment and understanding and knowledge are concerned, if I get those things from God, I can get an education from people. I can gain that through education. I can gain knowledge through education. But when I learn to follow God, I can gain the ability to spiritually discern and understand things that are, maybe not completely above the clear surface, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Something that you can anticipate things, you can recognize things, you can see things, you can you get that caution that says you don't want to do business right that way, or this person is, their motives, their heart's not right, or they're telling you one thing but there's another problem. They're saying this is the problem, but the real problem's here, and if you just adjust and take care of that, it'd be easy. Things and ways to just adjust and live and walk. Over here in Proverbs, there's a great verse, and Proverbs is a valuable book for growing us in all these things. And it says in verse 7, "The fear of the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline." The Proverbs are full of wisdom, and that's really what they're trying to teach, is ways to live wisely so that we're not dealing with the problems of life, and in a way that we're caught off guard, or understanding of, and wisdom will oftentimes keep us out of a lot of trouble. And so the fear of the Lord is the foundation of the knowledge. So to fear God, or to understand or see Him as that supreme being, the source of all life, the source of our eternal life, but also the one who provides now, and then respecting and honoring and revering God as the true Lord over our lives, and not us ourselves. And so we shift that, or set that pursuit of God in that manner, saying, God, I'm not Lord, you are. God, I want what you have. I want your wisdom. I want your direction. And so keeping all those things in balance, man, I tell you what, one of the reasons I think I went this direction is in my thoughts. I was thinking about the things that I've taught yesterday in teaching that to dream big, or to pursue the things of God, and just believe God you can do whatever it is before you. Adding wisdom within that, so that you are able to you're able to sort through what's something that you would have that might lead you in one direction versus what God would have, and being led in that direction. Ultimately, I want every one of you to follow God's will first and foremost. Overcoming a limited thinking, that's what it was that I was teaching yesterday. And a limited thinking, meaning saying I can't when God says I can. Well, a part of that is going before God in fear and reverence to Him, and saying, God, your will, your kingdom come, your will be done in my life, and show me, God, what it is that you would have me to do. And that's that spiritual wisdom. So just balancing those things, bringing those things together, seeking and searching for His will to be done in our lives. That's a big key part of that. So y'all be blessed in all that you do today. Ask and seek God for His wisdom, His direction, His insight. Just say, Lord, I want your wisdom. I want your plans, your ideas, your will in my life. And God will bring those things. He'll reveal those things to you, help you to have that understanding and discernment over what's of God and what's not. So be blessed today as you go out. Do something good for somebody, and go get them for Jesus. Love y'all. Good morning, Sean Summers. Morning, Tiffany. Morning, Misty. Morning, Bobby. Good to see y'all on here. I got a few more come on as we went through. Those of you that hit the like and hit the comments, we know you're on there, and always excited to see regulars and new people come on. So be blessed as you go through your day.